Oh my. In a second, there was a huge explosion and the car blazed in the night. It was a slaughter, as if it had tons of explosions in it. The mangled metal fell on the grass and tore away. The torn away door was hanging on the tree like a hanging man. The bloody rain started to paint the scenery red. A human heart landed within inches of my foot. It nearly made me throw up. Everybody started screaming, but not because their friend was torn apart like a piñata. They were looking at the car's leftovers, from which innards a burning girl was crawling out. Oh my god! Yes, it was her. It was Kate. Her skeleton, actually. It was decorated with burnt pieces of flesh like a New Year's tree with toys. She rushed to the guys and almost caught one of them. What is this thing? What have you done with Kate? Are you a fool or what? Get out of here! The football player grabbed Martin's hand and pulled him straight to the house. Ella shut the door. What the heck was that? Everyone looked at me. Lloyd started shaking me so hard that I couldn't even say a word. And after Kate's innards, I got really sick, so I almost threw up. What have you summoned, shitty slut? I'll kill you! Let her go. Now we have more important problems to deal with. Also, you told me to prove it, asshole. So who's the asshole? Asshole? So who's the real brains, man? Come on. You wanted me to prove this shit, and I proved it. I was surprised that Martin was so calm. What on earth must happen to make him worry? Probably he's so popular among the girls because of his nerves of steel, and he's pretty handsome too. Suddenly, we heard a loud gnashing sound. Ella went to the door. Something was scratching it from outside. Actually, everyone already knew what was there. The question was, how could it be? This is just sick. What happened to Kate was a mystery, even if I didn't have any explanation of this strange transformation. What can I say? I met the ghost with pyrokinesis for the first time ever. I was crushed by what I saw, and I was slightly deafened by the explosion itself. But this sound, it seemed to come from another world through the ringing in my ears. I've heard this thing scraping in my mind. It's so unbearable, as if it was cutting into my heart. I've always hated this part of the ritual, deliverance. Now at any moment, something could go wrong. Look! This thing at the window! Ooh. It is easy to break. We must hide on the upper floors. Ella panicked and ran away from the window. But we still can hide in the woods and get to the highway somehow. She won't give us a chance. We can leave this house only as the corpses. You've got a better plan? Yeah, we'll kill the asshole. But we don't even know what this is. Why hasn't it broken the window yet? It can't. The deadly creature was smashing the glass with its head, painting it red, but it couldn't damage the window. The house is some kind of a cage. You can go in or out only through the exit. Lloyd seemed more relaxed, but still frightened. Looks like we are safe here. Don't be happy yet, big guy. The thing is outside, waiting for us to kill it. No, there's a better way. We kill the psychic girl. Fuck you, asshole. He pointed at me with his trembling finger, but I wasn't afraid of him. I was afraid of the dead. The hunt had begun. You wouldn't be scared of the maniacal fly in the spider's web. Let's kill her. The thing came for her. I know it. She summoned it. You saw everything with your own eyes. Are you insane? I'm innocent, moron. You're the one who made me do it, by the way. How could I foresee this shit, dipshit? I pointed at the window and realized that the creature wasn't there. It began scratching the door again. Help me, somebody. Oh my god, it's Kate's voice! She's alive! Are you nuts? Did you miss the explosion, right? Did you miss the explosion, girl? It just can't be her. Use your brain. No way! Don't touch the door, idiot! But it was too late. The skeleton's hand caught the girl's wrist through the door, wide open. God, yeah. Martin took a baseball bat and rushed to the girl to hit the skeleton's head, clutching Ella's wrist. I heard a loud crack. Someone just got their teeth in a real tough cookie. Martin fractured the creature's radius bone and it fell on the floor, smashed into pieces. Dead Kate tried to catch Ella's throat by the other, but Martin pushed the door and cut off the monster's limb. We heard a loud shriek from the other side of the door. It was so loud that the glass should break into pieces. Then the bones of the floor turned into little bugs. Ew, that was gross. They crawled to the door, got under it, and left the house. Where did you get that, dude? I thought that if we would be in the middle of nowhere, we should have someone to defend ourselves. So the baseball bat could be useful, and it was. Thanks for saving me, but why are you so calm? Your girlfriend is a living corpse. That is strange. I agree. Very strange indeed. Or did you just acknowledge her as a fuck buddy? Do you know why I don't panic? Because we panic, we die. Understand? Or do you think I have to do something with it? You are so cold-blooded. It isn't normal. I mean, you dated for months. She was cheating on me with Austin Blauser behind my back for weeks, okay? Kate was a slut. Oh, the truth comes out now. A slut dies, but I didn't want such a death for her. I mean, it was too much, so cut it off, will ya? Why didn't you just say anything, baby? I thought you just wanted to screw me behind Kate's back. That's okay with me. You are cute. Why are we talking about this? Oh my god. Why are we talking about this right now? What the fuck is wrong with you, Grace? It was my revenge, and I think it just couldn't resist such a girl, sweetie. Okay, lovebirds, what should we do? We will kill you when this nightmare ends. You can't kill her. She is the only person who knows what is happening. Who else knows something about ghosts and monsters? Everyone was silent. I know some things. Even a handful of powder can be deadly. So let her start talking, or I'll break her neck. So how do we kill it? It is not that simple. And what is? Be killed by this thing? Ashley, you must help us. It will be the best birthday present. What do we know? It can't get inside and we can't get out. I agree with Martin. We must kill it. How? I have absolutely no idea. Right now we were allies. We had something in common. We wanted to kill this thing. But the reasons were different. Though I still wanted to get out of here alive like the others, that made me want it dead even more. That was the most important part of the ritual. Otherwise, all is in vain. I closed my eyes and saw myself standing on the floor covered with stone's crumbs. I saw the rays of the sun stretching to my eyes through the glass windows of the abandoned factory. I heard the howling of the steel pipes, looking down at me like judges. So we're having a flashback now? That seemed sudden. The machinery and tools were quiet. It was too quiet, so I felt their gaze upon my back every minute. They were watching me with genuine interest. What will she do next? My quiet voice rose up the graves of silence. The sharp string of my voice cut the stitches on my mouth. I could fill the dead hallways and speechless rooms with my screams. So I asked her, how should I kill it? I'm afraid this time you're on your own. Her icy smile and demonic gaze made me feel goosebumps. But could she be blamed? It was the other she. And I didn't like the changes that happened to her. She gave me the chance and I used the opportunity. I just had no choice. The other path was just a delusion and the road sign points only in one direction. Even when I tore apart the monster's body and took the peacemaker out of its rotten guts to destroy it, I still thought it was my life and I could make things right. But my life already belonged to her. The choice was made. The game began. I was engulfed by the memories, but only for a minute. In a second, I already knew my next step. When ghost hunting, people often use amulets or spells because it is impossible to damage ghosts physically. They are kind of dead and not even here. They are the past that can't be reached by the present, but I can. I have a spell that will do just the trick. That will give the ghost girl flesh for a moment, and the monster, I had no idea what to do with it. This will be enough to finish the ritual successfully. I can tell the guys how the ghost should be killed. Tell about the object which connects the ghost to this world because the plan would be ruined. I don't want them to pull the trigger of my gun. It's only my task. The materialization of a ghost is my first step. The assassination of a ghost is the second. I feel like I've been recording for a long time. This will probably take more than one episode. Probably 2. Hopefully just 2. But we'll see. But all of us must use the spell or it'll be too suspicious. And by the way, the material enemy will give them hope to win. But hope only. They'll be along my side so I can control them, so they can't be running from me or the ghost, and that is good. But of course, they couldn't kill it. She will grant flesh to the ghost if they cut off her name on their skin. I have an idea, but I'm afraid you won't like it so much. I don't like it already. You can't make it worse. She pierced me with her eyes. Her wish is that she could break my neck, as if I were a turkey to be cooked on Thanksgiving Day. In my eyes, she saw the reflection of herself torturing my body. Near the chains and gleaming blades, her brother was standing in blood, asking, "Are you okay?" He could even hold a camera, shooting their favorite video. Of course, if she finds him after all. Will she find him? That's the question. All this wasn't okay at all. I feel someone's presence in this house. Suddenly, Lloyd's eyes became red coals. He rushed at me like a speeding train that can't be stopped. Are you out of your freaking mind? Did you see what you summoned? Did you? Fuck you, dude. It peeled off the skin of her face back at the nursery. It killed Kate. It turned her into that creature thing. Do you understand what that you'll kill us all, freak? But they want to help us. The girl's parents. It's our best chance. Great idea. Let's summon a bunch of ghost lunatics so they'll finish us quickly. If you ask me, we are already doomed. God damn my freaking imagination. My mind pictured how amongst the candles the gate to hell appeared with the ghost crawling out. They filled the ground floor, then the stairs, the first floor, the second. There were so many of them. They needed to divide our limbs into such small pieces, such that Kate's finger is a delicious feast in this dark realm. And before I could see anything else so disgusting, my imagination ran out of battery. We don't have to summon them. They want to give us something. As far as I can tell from the words of the girl's father, he can help us to kill the thing. Lloyd was going to say something, but Ella interrupted him. I wouldn't count on some ghost father of the mad dead girl, but it's better than nothing. It looks like a chance. I don't like the idea either, but we really don't have a choice. The documents, in the desk in his study. He was doing a research on ghosts, but something went wrong and his daughter set herself on fire while he was away. Now she is controlling the monster. It's her new toy. But the Ouija said... I had to interrupt her. It was driving me mad. It was such a pain to make up these stories, so I didn't want to get the critical reviews on my scenario. It was Lloyd. Did you forget that already? I think that this girl's our main target. She tried to kill us. Maybe the father wants to help, so the father was my point of trust. It's wise. The girl, that's our problem. I would trust neither the little brat nor her old man. If you're so smart, then finish her on your own, dipshit. I threw the baseball bat to Lloyd and burst the door wide open. It's good that I knew that the thing was near the car now, not our front door. Lloyd screamed in fear. Maybe if he was more quiet, it wouldn't even notice us. But he was screaming so loudly that the graveyard on the outskirts of the city could hear. No! Shut it! The creature rushed to the door and now everyone screamed. Kate's corpse almost peeked inside the house. Her long arms clenched the rail of the porch, but we could feel her dead, cold fingers grabbing our heartbeats in the horror. Lloyd was so frightened that I thought the guy would have a heart attack. He hysterically threw the baseball bat at the monster's head and hid his face in his hands. Martin's face changed. He clenched his teeth and was like a different person now. He bared his teeth and pushed me with his shoulder hard, so hard that I almost kicked out of the house. Don't be an idiot, Ashley! If she didn't hold me, I would be there, outside the house. Martin wanted me there. He wanted to kill me. Maybe he knew something. Maybe he just got sick of me. but there's no doubt he wanted to kill me. Freaking bloody killer. Well, Martin, after all, you deserve to be punished. What the hell? We're already in deep shit. If this thing gets in here, it'll be the end. And sorry about that. I didn't mean to push you, but don't be stupid next time. Was he really sorry? I couldn't tell. Maybe he was lying to me. And why do I care anyway? He won't make it out alive anyway. That was so cool, big guy. Lloyd couldn't say a word. Maybe Martin beat him up already. It was my favorite bat, just for the record. Martin punched Lloyd and kicked him in the stomach. Ella tried to stop him. I think that he's had enough already. Let's find the document. Martin calmed down. We'll have to find them. He helped Lloyd to get up. I'm sorry, but I'm very upset that I lost it. He almost beat the guy to death because of some baseball bat. But he nearly ignored his girlfriend's death. Martin, you are such a mystery. Lloyd, Martin, Grace, and I went upstairs. Ella stayed on the first floor to be on guard. She wasn't a coward, but a nice girl. Though I saw her hands shaking. We followed the voice, which I kind of heard in my head. Of course, it guided us to the documents. My mind was full of thoughts and guessings of what was about to happen next. But still, the most interesting were the victims. The house along with these guys was just a box full of candies. They all had the chocolate skin and rotten soul singing in bloody cream. Bones, teeth, and flesh revealed themselves to remind us about the past. Some people tried to forget their horrible secrets. Others put them in a jewel box and peek inside to remember their true self. Some don't even try to hide their past. It is the centerpiece of their collection. They keep it safe in a glass jar and take care of it, wiping dust from it every day of the week, like Martin Grain. I know that he has a collection of such jars somewhere inside his dead heart. Death is not a tragedy for him. It is his reason for his existence. Oh. It's interesting about Martin. Is he a crazy killer or something? But he's more cool, calm, collected. And you have the right vision of the thing as usual. I was always fond of your way of thinking. As I can read only your thoughts, you are my favorite book, Ashley. Don't screw with my head, and I'm not some stupid book. I have nothing else to do. All these assholes are searching for the documents. Ashley. And the last story about the Midnight Curse was much better than this. It is not for you to decide which story I should tell. I'm so angry at you right now. We are in serious shit because of your innovations. 2 monsters at a time? It was just the best idea. Thanks a lot. How am I supposed to kill them? I thought it would be bad to make the show more interesting, since otherwise I would be bored to death. You always kill them so easily. Boring. It is not some kind of boss in an RPG. You kill the one, the other dies. It's that simple. Don't try to fool me. Even if I... Ouch! My head struck the wall. That was brilliant. You were too focused on this document. You didn't notice the wall. And this ouch of yours. Hilarious. Go to hell. Who are you talking to? It's the wall, I guess. Here it is, the cabinet. I remember how I was looking for newspapers for the Dull Inquisition, but the room was empty. Well, it isn't now. We entered the cabinet. Everything in this room hinted on some research. But mostly it was theoretical, as there were no signs of the experiments. The pile of paper rested on the table, and some files were scattered around on the floor. Schemes and pictures were pinned to the wall, and while a strange shelf with jars and medicine made me think of this place as a mad scientist's lair. One of the walls was decorated by a deer's head, and above it a shotgun was hanging. Ooh, shotgun! We're gonna get killed by that, aren't we? There was a door to a balcony in the room, but we couldn't open it. There was no way out, and Lloyd panicked. He took the gun out the wall and pointed at me. What the hell are you doing? We're all in this shit together! I didn't pay attention to Lloyd's aggressive gestures toward me. I looked on the barrel of the gun and smiled wryly. I know that the gun isn't loaded. You won't scare me, boy. I continued to examine the desk drawer and soon found the document and her newspaper. It was her favorite trick. The newspaper was empty for now. In the document, I could find the spell of ghost materialization. I showed it to everyone. This will do just the thing. We can use the gun for the monster, I think. Lloyd pinned his fingers on the gun like it was a lifeboat that would carry him away from the sea of nightmares. Not even close. It was just a weapon without ammo. Though in seconds, I gave him a pack of metal shells. They're for hunting. If we were lucky, we could kill some game. This isn't a store. Take this and be grateful, dipshit. I took the knife, which was laying on the table. It's such luck to find it here. I grinned. The knife cut my skin and a drop of blood followed its blade. With surgical precision, trying not to touch the veins, I was carving the materialization spell. We all need to do it? That's what the ghost said? I nodded. Everyone carved the spell into their skin, but Grace. The girl hesitated to follow my example, but finally took off the bracelet and a knife appeared in her hand. Martin's face changed. What are you doing? Why did you take it off? Put it on! Put the thing on immediately, Grace! What's wrong with you? I can't take it with my left hand. I can't do it with my left hand. That moment, Martin clenched Grace's hand and put the bracelet on her hand. Then he realized what he was doing. This bracelet brings luck. You'll have more chances to get out of here alive. Maybe I should put it on, if Grace refuses. You wouldn't dare. Martin wanted to hit Lloyd. Okay. Okay. Shots fired. Martin wanted to hit Lloyd, but he pulled the trigger. Martin dodged the shotgun, and the shell broke the glass of the medicine shelf. Frickin' asshole! Hey, calm down, both of you! I don't give a shit about the bracelet! The girl smashed the present on the floor and took the shotgun. Lloyd, you idiot! You almost killed Martin! You should be more careful with that! Yeah, don't give weapons to the psychotic idiot. At least not psychotic, more like the frightened pussy-ass bitch. Lloyd looked very guilty at Martin, and, as if nothing had happened, took the bracelet and put it on his pocket. Never mind. Are you ready, guys? Grace whipped the blood from his skin. Yes, now I'm ready. We heard a scream and got past all of our disagreements at once. It was time for us to go down the stairs and face the danger. Chick, chick, chick. The scene that I saw was terrifying enough. Ella curled in fear beside the wall. The door was wide open. How did that happen? The creature was standing in the center of the hall. A little girl was hovering from behind. Her fingers seemed to squeeze invisible threads, the ends of which were singing in the remains of the human flesh on the skeleton of Kate. Only now I noticed how chaotic and quick the movements of her head and body were. It was like a poorly staged play. I'll kill them all, with a story so shockingly bad that it seems the creature itself didn't know what to do with all these screeching teenagers. Oh yes, we utterly screeched. Even me. It's hard to resist, as if someone yawns, very sticky and invocative thing. Kate. Maybe there's something left of her still. Her wretched little soul, hanging on a web of guts and blood, slowly approached Ella. She was shaking all over. It seemed that she wanted to escape from the invisible cage, but could not. She wanted to run away, or, on the contrary, to strangle Ella and then Grace for winning the beauty contest. What? What beauty contest? What? Her mouth hole reminded me of a crescent moon. Kate's skeleton shouted as if to her fans, "Look at me! Here I am! The real beauty queen!" On my bald head burns... Oh, there we go. On my bald head burns a flame in the form of a crown. My fans, come on, support me! And then, out of the empty eye holes, the two antennas showed up. The cockroaches run out of her eye sockets, and the worms crept out of her ears. All of them chant, "Kate, Miss the World! Kate is the queen of beauty! Beauty kills!" One of the cockroaches remarked, "She killed Keith Gribbles." What? Who's Keith Gribbles? More precisely, her absence, noted the cockroach with the longer antennas. My mind put me somewhere else once again, I guess. Oh, my freaking imagination. What the hell are going on there? Quick run to others upstairs! Suddenly Martin runs down the stairs and pointed the gun at the creature. Now that was one hell of a twist. Lloydwood was dumbstruck. A minute ago it was him who held the gun, and now his hands were empty. His fingers were cold. Do you want to be picking lead out of your stomach, motherfucker? It seemed that Martin wanted to finish him quick. I heard a click of the slide, and like a thunderclap, there was a deafening shot. The creature's face was half demolished. No, sorry for the mistake. Half the skull. Well, there was, of course, some skin on it, but I still wouldn't call it a face. This couldn't be powdered. The creature backed away, but the girl behind her waved her arms, obviously urging the monster to kill Martin. Although the scene did immediately move my idea of controlling the threads of a dark puppeteer to the darkest corner in my mind. Kate's skeleton opened her toothy, bony mouth, or rather what was left of it. I thought that now this skull would crack, but no. All was good for the monster, of course. Martin was clearly not one of those who can surrender. His hands seemed to have completely refused to see him as a master. In general, he refused to be human. Like some kind of mechanism, they quickly started loading the gun and shooting. They were no longer led by Martin. There was not even the slightest certainty that anything remained of him. Now these fingers, these hands, and the whole limb were guided by the idea of surviving at any cost. And everything would be fine, but these shots were so loud that it seemed as if Martin was standing right in my head and shooting at the monster, and even missed. Bastard. Now these damned bullets were piercing my brain, making my head ache. I don't know, but maybe I have a very sensitive nature. But he doesn't know it. Moreover, the monster doesn't know it either, and even if he did know, it wouldn't help the case. But at the moment when the shot broke through the cervical spine of the monster, my heart trembled. Martin nearly broke her damn locket, which for a moment flashed on the monster's neck, the object. I saw a lot of such objects in my short life. Medallions, necklaces, rings, no fantasy at all. They can barely be seen by the human eye and exist simultaneously in two worlds, ours and the other world. They let the ghosts stay there. Humans must escort them to the door with the inscription, "Exit." Meanwhile, it became hot in here, and it's time to join the fight. I looked at everyone else. They trembled, like pigs in the pen, who were suddenly granted a mind and realized that a butcher stands before them. We must help him. He'll run out of ammunition. Who knows when we will need them? Don't just stand there. Do something! I began to push Lloyd from the stairs, but the guy didn't want to go to the battlefield. He clenched his fingers in the stairway rail so firmly that I would need to cut his hands off to get him move. Are you insane? Stop this madness, Madshake! He's the one with the gun! His voice sounded threatening, but he was spooked and he was shaking. He was shaking so much that I thought, now all the steps will begin to jump up like a child's xylophone. Well, what had I expected from him? But if in the presence of this pile of muscles I immediately rushed into battle, it wouldn't be at least strange. Above, something flashed. On the second floor, right next to me, to the last step, was laying an axe. Thanks. She didn't say anything, but I could feel her smile tighten, and the corners of my lips suddenly turned into snakes that wrapped around my neck and turned it into a loop. Before she caught my throat, before jumping to the void, I was able to overcome uncertainty and fear. It was not the first time, but who said that it's easy to kill a monster? Whoever said that it's easy to kill? I clearly remembered me standing in the middle of the glass shards in the mental hospital, Roinsmild, when the first ghost appeared. It was a girl. She looked at me with her fitted eyes and called me into her world, but I didn't go. She poked a loaded revolver in the object that was her bind to our world, the piggy bank, which was in her hands, and fired. It was easy, only a moment, but it seemed to last forever. It seemed that I drowned in the abyss of her dead eyes. I had fallen into her dead brain and got lost in the labyrinth of convolutions. All these thoughts whizzed through my head. My instincts were quicker than my doubt, and most instantly, in order to not change my mind, I rushed to the axe and then went down to Martin. Shoot the legs until you break them! It sounded at least like an order from the commander, and probably more because of how it did sound, rather than actual logic, so the guy did. A storm of metal spheres flew from the muzzle, and struck the bottom of her leg. One of the balls was stuck in the patella, and at the same time it was in my head. And two more balls were embedded in the bone. The rest fell behind the creature. A few more shots were fired, but the bone didn't want to break. I already wanted to say, what the hell, man? Just give me the gun, bitch. Learn to shoot, man. But only I had to break the locket by all means, while pretending that I had chopped off the creature's head. How difficult it is. Damn it. I swore to myself that if this asshole didn't bother to fight off a dead stinger's leg, I'll cut it to pieces. But he could not do it with 2 more shots. He was ready to admit that he did not shoot at all with bullets, but with their shadows or even ghosts, maybe he just missed. In general, when my patience began shortening, forcing me to slaughter a bastard, a miracle happened. Finally, I heard a long-awaited crack. The bone crunched, and pulling the scrap of metal, the meat behind it, began to bow to the floor. The bullet, which overgrew with bones, body and strength, came real and punched the damn bone. The battering ram destroyed the tower of the citadel, and the monster fell. I ran abruptly to the monster and wanted to hit its head with the axe, but the dead Kate seemed to be quicker than the live Kate. She jerked her hand away to the axe densely entered the wooden floor, breaking through the boards. I jerked it out with all my strength, but it was stuck. Her laughter was heard. For a second, it seemed to me that a sharp row of her teeth flashed on the blade of the axe, and she smiled. Perhaps it gave me strength, and maybe she just decided to help me. I did not know how, but I still managed to free up the axe and bring it back for a blow. As a sentence, the guillotine blade fell to the head of the creature. Heavy metal cut the cervical section. But if I did not cut the medallion with my next step, this monster could be reborn and come with renewed strength. And we did not need this shit. But to hide the exact direction of my blow, I began to beat the creature more and more, pretending that I was hysterical. And that is what is happening. It's just driving me crazy. Oh! Inch by inch, the skin on the dead skeleton began to appear, and soon I saw Kate. Her head was still separated from her torso, but the wounds were healed. There was a cry. It was the ghost girl. I did not pay any attention to her. Blood poured over my face, my fingers tightly squeezed the axe. This trick of hers, I saw for the first time. She did not cease to amaze me. I felt how the cold energy began to fill me, as if my body was under the ice. It's like she's coming home from work. I'll unlock the door to change into her home clothes. Although I do not know if there is a work in the world of the dead that suits her age. My hands began to tingle, my eyes shed tears. The tooth, which I tightly clenched in my pocket, cut my fingers. She's ready. With a measured step, she walks down the corridor, touching the walls with her cold, pale fingers as if touching my skin. I knew where she was going, and when the dining room door opened, I knew how hungry she was. Ha! Yummy. Her mouth widened, and her eyes became black holes, but only for a moment. She went to the table and lifted the lid off the tray. The room was filled with the unbearable smell of rotting organs and blood. Under it lay the insides. A heart, brain, and guts were wrapped around the skin flaps near them. On the delicacy plate neatly laid the eyes. So how do I get to the dining room? Is this in her head, though? Probably. Her thin fingers slowly lowered, took one eye very carefully, like it was the most precious treasure, and put it on her tongue, then swallowed it. She took another organ. It was also what went into her mouth. She ate the rest of the insides, wrapping them around a fork and piercing after cutting the heart and brain into small pieces to make it convenient to chew. Envy with a taste of contempt and cold blood is an ideal combination. Chef bravo. I swallowed. I didn't like these images in my head at all. But what could I do? Oh, so it was in her head, okay. I have always said that I have too lively of imagination. She always used it against me at any convenient moment. All the time, it seemed to her that everything was too simple, that drama scene was too little. Since we are not doing this very often, we must savor every moment, enjoy every second. Perhaps she wanted to share her happy moments with me. But in any case, the scene in my head almost made me sick to my stomach. Did you see it? She became a human again! Martin looked at me. He didn't lower the gun. Yes, it was too fast to comprehend. There was a moment when I thought that I'm already dead, or that this is just a very bad dream. But we didn't have a choice. Good job, Ashley. Nice. We need to get out of here. Everyone rushed to the exit. What the hell? When their hands finally reached for freedom, the door closed shut. I didn't look at it, as I knew that there was no exit. No, this can't be! Shit. Martin aimed at the lock and made a shot, and another one. Then he saw the holes in the door, but that the lock remained intact. The guy looked through it like there was transparent tape. Through the chain, scratches were seen, not too well, but it was clear that they were ghost-like. What the hell? You did this, freak! Oh my god, shut up! I saw that Grace wanted to say something, but she didn't. If she did so, her brother would be punished. I was no pro at kidnapping, but I needed to gain the control of Grace by any means. So why do we need to control Grace? Have we gone to that part? I guess we'll get it later, I don't know. So as bait, I held her brother as hostage. No, of course, it was just a trick. It was her brother wanting to prank his sister. That was handy. Lloyd punched Martin in the face and the guy fell down. This mad bull ripped the weapon from Martin's grasp. It's my payback, you asshole! He pointed his shotgun at me, and for a moment I thought that I lost. But he seemed so confident in his power that he was about to make a mistake by underestimating me. I don't need bullets because I don't want to kill you! I'll beat you with this damn thing until you tell me how to get out of this fucking shithole! Grace smirked. Even without her tips, I was in danger. But I understood what I was doing. When I agreed, and Lloyd had a lot of reasons not to trust me. As then in the factory, if the control center was not exploded, which should not have been working, by the way, I would have been cut in two. He was already stepping in my direction, throwing up his gun. I was scared. I was not afraid of the pain that he could cause me, but the consequences of failure that could shake the most daring imagination. I began to slowly climb up the stairs. Come to daddy, Ashley! Ah, don't zoom in on your face, you fucking weirdo. Lloyd looked at me with ravenous eyes like I was his prey, and I couldn't even understand. He wanted to rape me and then kill me, or vice versa. I could not imagine what was happening in his head. What thoughts were behind these eyes? Sharp like blades that would strip my body. Then I realized that I was wrong. Still, it was scary. Very scary. He was simply insane. He was devoured by the idea of killing me, destroying me. All of his gestures told me that he wanted blood. His teeth flashed in the light of the pale moon, and his fingers, like the claws of birds of prey, dug into the railing. He said he would beat the information out of me, but that was far from the truth. More precisely, he would do something terrible with me, right after he received the answers, and they would not satisfy him. Although even the door was open, he wouldn't have killed me, probably. He is a notorious killer. The number of his victims is 2, and now I heard them. They were near. With each second, when he was getting closer to me, he also took a step forward. Lloyd had completely gone mad. He quietly laughed and began sneaking up the stairs, as if afraid to frighten me. He's a hunter, and I'm the game. But all the same, he could not stand it and threw himself at me. He grabbed me by the hood and almost pushed me off the stairs. He wanted to hit me with his head on the step to cut my skull. God, how he wanted to see my crushed brain, so I to step on it and climb up the career ladder of a killer, to go even higher. He wanted to, but had hid his desire all these years. Martin is not as mad as him, although I'm sure that he was a lot of victims behind him. Okay, so hold on a sec. Kate kind of mentioned that she saw the girl, but she was kind of freaked out by the girl. And we are saying that Martin has killed a few, and now we're saying that Lloyd has killed a few people. So, I imagine we're all killers here, so we're bringing killers here to die, I guess. That's my theory, and that's what it sounds like to me. Anyway, we'll continue on. But Martin killed them neatly, with love, if I may say so. He counted them and remembered forever. As for the psychopath, he killed once, and since then, he could not remember the taste of blood, as if he was afraid of something. But he is not afraid anymore. Damn those eyes. He remembered his taste, and now it overflows within him. Blood draining like scarlet, snakes on his tongue and pouring all around his face. The guy was drowning in it, seeing in front of him only a red vial of hatred, anger, and incredible thirst. When the psycho attacked for the first time, I broke free, but Lloyd hit my leg with a metal barrel and I began to limp a little, but still managed to climb higher. He again swung his weapon at me to hit me in the temple. I almost died on the spot, but still had some strength. She gave it to me when I touched the tooth. When I dragged my leaded body to the second floor, I dipped my finger in the blood and drew her symbol so she would give me even more strength. I felt much better. The pain was overshadowed. I rushed into the office and saw that there was a revolver on the desk. Old, slightly rusted, with a faded inscription, most likely loaded and created a few minutes ago. I automatically grabbed it and began to look for a safe place like a trapped beast. I was wondering why she was speechless. I wanted her advice what to do next. Soon I realized that she was not interested in helping me so much, because then, from all this action-packed scene, she won't have an exciting show. And, unfortunately, I could not start a dialogue with her first. She did not hear me. The door to the balcony suddenly opened, and I immediately realized that this invitation was addressed to me. The hands of the wind were calling me, gently touching my cheeks and stinging the wound on my forehead. Lloyd was already close enough. I ran to the balcony, and the psychopath rushed after me. The moon illuminated his crooked face with its pale colors, and from this he looked even more insane. "It's over now. Now you will be playing only by Daddy's rules, my girl." There was a noise. Maybe it was steps. Perhaps Grace and Ella did not really want to get involved with Lloyd's half-wit. But I think Martin was already awake. It could be him, or it's just a branch knocking on the grass. Everything is possible in this strange world. Maybe I should just jump down into the darkness and break my neck. Maybe, but she won't let me. I would like to shoot a bullet into Lloyd's head. No, of course, I won't kill him. Who said that I can't shoot his foot or something like that? The ghost said, that's who. Can't do anything to Lloyd or anyone else. All pain must belong to them, and otherwise all is in vain. But she still gave me the weapon, knowing that I could not use it. I could hear her laughing. I squeezed the revolver in my hand. She started to fear that I would kill him, and I could. I did not have to answer for my actions anymore. To hell with the deal. I'll just kill the motherfucker and come what may. God, how my temple hurts, and how he pisses me off. The moon lit up the balcony like a searchlight, brightening the scene, and the show was about to begin. I already heard them. They were close, right behind me, down there, under the balcony. I leaned over the railing and felt a cold flow of air coming from below. I aimed at Lloyd and took my hand away so the bullet did not hit him, then pulled the trigger. "Do you want to kill me, idiot? Go ahead! Shoot!" Hold on one second, I need another drink. Lloyd's voice really does kill the throat. Ugh. He took my hand and pressed it to his chest, and squeezing my finger on the trigger. Click. Misfire, misfire. "I am immortal! My deeds are immortal! You can't do anything about it, frickin' witch!" I snatched my hand away and threw the revolver from the balcony so as to not accidentally wound this motherfucker. Lloyd came at me and put the metal barrel to my temple. "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a witch girl by the toe. If she cries, don't let her go. Take a knife and cut her throat." He fell silent. His hand, holding onto the barrel, weakened. In his eyes, instead of madness, they clearly showed fear. Someone grabbed his hand tightly. It was a dark-haired girl. She quickly climbed onto the balcony, and a young guy followed her. Since the balcony was quite high, I had no doubt that this couple were ghosts. They both had the same tattoo as Lloyd's, a lizard. The girl's hair was thrown back by the wind, her white neck gleaming from the reflection of the pale moon on the glass. "Nadine? It's Tom!" They didn't say a word. Perhaps they had something to say to him. Only their mouths were stitched up, as always, frightening image of a vengeful ghost. Their glassy eyes reflected Lloyd's distorted face. Perhaps if the seams had parted, they would have screamed in pain or despair. Lloyd stepped back, but the spirits were already gone. The ghost left me alone with the mad guy. It was strange. Yeah, it was. Real strange. I thought that they were now teaching him a lesson. I could feel how they rushed to him to finish him off. But she seemed to hold them back. They were like chained dogs who couldn't resist the will of their mistress. Lloyd clenched his teeth and tried to hit me on the head with the weapon, but I dodged it. "God damn you frickin' games again!" "You can say my name and let me in. Then I will finish the boy myself." I bent so Lloyd couldn't throw me across the railing. The crumbs of the paint fell on my hood. Now you have only... Now you'll have them only using the book. The guy grabbed me by the throat and slowly began to lift. I'm very light, so it's easy to throw me from the balcony. Well then, let me delay the sweet moment of denouement a little. Tension always arouses my interest, you know. Help me, god damn it! Okay, now have fun. Lloyd's wrist hurt and he released me. I walked away from the railing. Fuck! It was very difficult to dodge his attacks. Lloyd was very tough and strong, yet he was insane. Everyone knows that a person who is off his rocker is much stronger than normal. He grabbed me and threw me on the ground. I already thought that I couldn't get up, but touching the tooth, I could. Then I realized that continuing this madness is meaningless. I need to run away from this monster. Moonlight passed along the rails of the balcony. Behind them was a window. The window seemed to come out from the wall of the house to admire the scenery. A dark forest in which I couldn't see a damn thing, and a moon that strolled along the branches and the crown of trees with its pale legs. I pushed Lloyd away and ran to the railing. I climbed on them and jumped, putting my hands forward. They sharply grasped the protruding edge, but at the same time I banged my head against the stone, so I almost unclenched my fingers. Spitting blood into the dark abyss of the night, I began to strain my hands to pull myself up. All my muscles ached, but somehow I didn't. I felt dizzy, and I nearly fell down again. My self-preservation instinct worked just in time. My hand gripped the ledge into which the columns of the balconies of the third floor were driven. I clung to it with all my strength, and again, feeling the pain in my joints, I pulled myself up. As soon as I climbed onto the balcony, I immediately fell to the cold stone floor. There was a knock. I jumped, and leaning over the railing, I saw Lloyd, who was hanging, holding onto the ledge. I stepped back. Stairs! I saw her while I climbed here. I ran up to her, and quickly, despite the fact that my whole body ached, I climbed to the roof. I have nowhere to run. Maybe it's time for the show? I think you are right. Her voice sounded offended. It looks like I just took a toy from a child. Well, excuse me, the toy, clenching its teeth like some kind of mechanism, climbed up to me on the roof. Of course, Lloyd was the toy, because I was an instrument. He ran at me. The guy was already without a weapon, but his hands could already inflict serious bodily harm. Or maybe he'll just throw me off the roof. Suddenly, there was a strange sound. And before me appeared a dark wall of fluttering wings. The ravens struck Lloyd, but they did not touch him. All pain must belong to them. The guy was already near the edge of the roof. I almost screamed with fright when he fell, but when there were ghosts, it seemed to me that I heard their names. Voices whispered, Nadine, Thomas. They caught Lloyd and dragged him to the roof. The crows disappeared and nothing protected me, which means that this is the end. They dragged him, screaming into the moonlight spot to make the execution. I was very curious what they would do to him. You need to return to the house. Now! Her voice was tense. You might even say frightened. She said to return to the house. I'm pretty sure I have to listen to her, but... Well, let's explore this ending. Let's stay and watch. Look at the execution! Watch this motherfucker die! I decided that everything else could wait. I want to see the execution of this bastard. I need to see it. I understand that she is very, very hungry and wants to eat them all as soon as possible, but damn it, I need to see how this motherfucker will suffer. You're making a mistake. Grace is in danger. Hurry! I just need a quick peek, that's all. Nadine always liked the moon. She believed that the moonlight makes the atmosphere more romantic. What's with her voice? She sounds crushed. What the hell? What are you talking about? Oh my. I called her in my head, but the sounds of her torn flesh and Lloyd's cries drowned out my thoughts and my mind. Nadine pulled his arm, and Thomas in turn did the same with the other hand. It seemed that they wanted to share his pain, his scream. That was the last thing they could do together in this world. What a loving couple. The tattoo of the lizard lit up on the girl's neck, and the same thing happened to the guy's tattoo. Lloyd's tattoo did not move. It seemed that it froze in horror. Sparkling black lizards crawled over the bodies. Soon they gained flesh and form and descended from their bodies, moving onto the guy's shoulder. The mouths of the ghosts were sewn up, but I could hear their thoughts. I want you to forget what you did to me. I want you to forget my body, forget my kiss, forget my smell, mixed with the rotten smell of vine, which you gave me to drug me and then screw me. I want you to forget my voice, forget that I existed, forget that I was your friend and that you killed me. I want you to forget that you ever existed. The lizard flashed their sharp teeth on the pale light of the moon and began to dip into Lloyd's head. He was shouting for a while, but when one of the lizards took a bite of his brain and spat on the cold tile, he fell silent. Blood was pouring from his mutilated skull, as though from a full bowl of vine. Nadine and Thomas pulled on themselves again and again and tore the lid's body in two. The guts poured out of him, like cereal from a box, and got to her plate. But she threw them into the trash can and clutched her teeth in a box. The lustful flesh of a sinner. It was melting on her tongue like chocolate. I remembered that it was time to return. I decided to try to go down through the chimney. Finding cracked bricks, I hit them with my foot. At first, it did not break, so I kicked the stone again. Finally, I managed to break a hole like that I could crawl through. Alright, Grace. Hopefully you're not in trouble. Inside the chimney, I found a small metal ledges under my feet. How nice that she foresaw this happening. Slowly dropping my legs and fingers to the ledges, I descended lower and lower along the staircase attached to the wall. She left it for me here, and the chimney was wide enough to descend without any troubles. Once I was on the first floor, I found that it was not easy to get out. The fireplace was quite small. I sat down on all fours and then leaned forward to let my hands touch the grating. I lifted one foot and pushed it against the stone. There was a crash of the grating, and then it broke. I fell out of the fireplace and, rising abruptly, ran to Ella. "Where's Martin and Grace?" "He has her." The girl was sitting on the mattress and holding her newspaper in her hand. She looked wide-eyed right in front of her, and next to me laid my bag. I snatched the newspaper from her hands. Read in this issue, beauty requires sacrifice. A girl sets on fire the house of her best friend who won the mystical contest. Wait. A girl sets on fire the house of her best friend who won the mystical... Friends can be as thick as thieves. A rapist forces his friend to jump off a roof right after he screwed his girlfriend. Oh. Rubric intrigue. Serial killer. Lover is now in your house. Carefully looking at yourself in the mirror and make sure that your appearance is not similar to his sister. She received all of the love of her parents, and he hated her. And he hates you the same way, Grace Heitling. A letter from our readers. Hello, dear Ella. If you're reading this, then I'm already around. Mr. Bubbles still wants to play with you. I'm sure that you're also waiting for this. After all, last time you just died for waiting to play with him. Announcement. I will buy strings. Unfortunately, mine are not sticking out of bleeding wrists. With such, you can't play the guitar. For all questions, please contact Anna Rydberg. That location. Grace! Grace, where the hell are you? I shook Ella. Where are they? God damn it! Ella could not answer. She was scared, and besides, she really did not know. Ella just pointed up, but this is not an answer. It seemed as if she did not know, and perhaps it would be better if she did not say anything at all. Did not show her existence. Did not show that she was here. She was really pissing me off. I hit her in the face. Now I became another Ashley. The killer girl. Ashley the murderer. Not the one that summons ghosts and hides behind her. Now I've become the devil himself. It is clear that they were on the upper floors. Martin wanted to kill her, like all those who have already wore his bracelets. Oh! Okay. Looking up, I asked myself the question, am I ready for a meeting with you, lover? Hell yeah, I'm ready. I ran up the stairs. Although I was very close to the second floor, I seemed to take only the first step. Fear freezed time and eclipsed my mind. The cold hands of the dead girls seeping through the steps that I descended. They grabbed me, wanting me to listen to their stories. They wanted to yell at me, to pour on me with their blood, which dripped into my mind, swollen by madness. Is that girl giving me the okay sign? Like, look at that. Everything's gonna be A-okay, baby. It's funny. They wanted to rip off my ears and whisper their stories inside of them, spit worms and throw their insides on my face. They wanted to do anything so that I could pay attention to their voices. They were already there, awoken too fast suddenly, and not according to plan. Every one of them knew that Martin was about to do it again, and even she could not hold them anymore. She should have. I felt that the ground beneath me has shifted. No, that's not the case. The truth is, I'm still down there on the first floor, possibly next to Ella, maybe buried under the floor, like one of Lover's victims. Maddie Carblay lies behind wooden boards in the country house. The rays of the sun penetrate into the cracks, slipping, falling into her empty eye holes. Dust getting into deep wounds on the chest and wrist. Perhaps this is what I am? After all, it does not matter who I am right now. I felt that everything was about to lose its meaning. Husbeth cried forward, whom he had hung from the bridge near New Lake Road, straight to the north along the main road, past the cemetery. Turn your head 90 degrees to say hello. I'm hanging on a rope, and the necklace that wrapped around my wrist is in silver glitters. The wind is whistling through the holes in cheeks, eyes, and palms, maybe trying to say something to seagulls passing by. The face is disfigured beyond recognition. A pretty nose, like a piece from a children's constructor, lies in a hole where ants live. But in my opinion, I'm now not anyone else but Grace Hutling. First school beauty rock singer, Grace Hutling. My hair floating in the wind like a flag, inspires guys to do crazy things. My beautiful body is done by a sculptor who, all his life, molds only charming girls, and there are no equals. My eyes are so shiny and cunningly sexy. I'm Grace Hutling. I want to throw my arms around you, my handsome guy, but they nailed to the wall. I'm Grace Hutling. My breasts so desired by you are cut and disfigured. I'm Grace Hutling. I killed that witch, Ashley, with Martin's knife, which strips my belly. I'm Grace Hutling. I'm not screaming, because I'm as dead as you, Ashley. Ah, got achievement called The Deadliest Mistakes. Well, congratulations, you're dead. And what did you expect ignoring the creature that controls everything here? But the execution was cool, huh? I think so too. Well, now let's get the job done. The ritual's not yet complete. I hope that you have saved your game data. Give it a try. Alright, fair enough. And indeed, we did. So, I was afraid that might happen. Alright, I'm going to take a quick pause for a second, and I'll be right back.